So today we are going to be taking whoa. So today we're going to be continuing to take a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. Also, yeah, there's a province map and it's all updated now. Mr. ST forgot to do that 100%. In the last video we saw mainly the massive Red Empire expand. I mean, they are huge now. Which, this... Oh no. This whole thing is finally fixed. But, yeah, this country rebelled. It's like the fourth time I said that. We also saw this pop up for some reason, and they definitely aren't going to last longer than this episode, though. And some expansion over here in Romania, but we're going to start off down in Yugoslavia, surprisingly. Like I said a few episodes ago, they are very expansionist. And they're going to take, surprisingly, all of this land going along the rivers here. I don't know why. I guess because they have zero tolerance, but yeah, they take all this land along here and expand their size a lot, and they're going to continue expanding because they are very unhealthy with their amount of expansion. But they take all of this land, which is a bit crazy because they just formed a few episodes ago. But as I said, this is happening during the Red Team Coalition, so that's why I don't think ST got the memo that they're meant to expand. But yeah, they're going to look like this. Now we go down to Purple France, as they're going to do a bit more expanding as well, as they will decide to colonise all of this land. Also partly down here, and actually let's take a look at the power rankings that I haven't shown yet. But number one in the world is the Swedish Empire. I mean, they just had a huge buff in the last episode, and they are now the strongest country in the world. Number two are the French, as they have they've just been trying to stabilise and just stay, I don't know. They did just get really strong though, so yeah. Then is the Vietnamese country over here in East Asia. They have just been strong. They are the strongest country in East Asia, and these two Chinese countries are relatively weak. The Koreans are up here as well, but at the same time, yeah. Then we have the Romans. They are probably they're not like hugely strong, but they're definitely strong enough to get up here in the top 10. Then Germany, they got a huge nerf in the last episode, so we have them now looking like this. And yeah, they're quite sad, but you're just gonna have to carry on with it. But then is the Yugoslavians, like I said, big. Next is Greece. They are going to be doing stuff in this episode, which will definitely get them to that spot. Then it's Carthage. Then it's number 9 is the Basque country, this country here. Because even though they did have a bit of a kind of collapse where they lost all their Iberian land, they still hold on to their core provinces, which are over here. France still a bit of them, but they're probably not going to be able to get them back. And then number 10 is Korea, who they haven't done anything yet, but they could be doing something in a bit, who knows. But anyway, for one of our first other events, we're going to see the Red Team come up and explore the rest of expand into the rest of Scandinavia, and I actually don't have unexplored land on, sorry about that. But we see that all of this land is discovered, and the map Europe is now nearly fully discovered. It's just this bit of island, and then Europe's pretty much been fully discovered. But anyway, now we move down to Greece, as they are going to want to do a lot of exploring of the Turkish area, as they set some people up to come in here and just explore a lot of this land. They are they're pretty good explorers, the Greeks. They come from Carthage, who are very good sea explorers. We then also see the Greeks make a landing down here in Libya, and they come along the coast and make it to Egypt. And the Greeks are just really exploring the Middle East, or not, but like Northern Africa. And yeah, they start to get into the Middle East now, as they come around here and become the first country to discover the Middle East, whilst connecting up with the Sinai Peninsula and going up a bit further into the Black Sea. And yeah, they are really cooking, with Romania as well. Romania is also doing some work, as they are going to expand around here as well. As the Greeks now are going to take some land, as the Greeks will decide to take all of this Turkish and kind of Balkan land, making them a lot bigger. They also snag Cyprus as well where they're at it, and they're actually going to continue expanding, as we see that the Greeks are going to take this Middle Eastern land here, connecting around to Syria, and make a colony over in Egypt, which will now give them a lot more Egyptian land. And they kind of spread down the Nile, as you can see, and they are quickly becoming a lot stronger, and they may be able to move up those top 10 rankings in today's video. Anyway, like I said, hype is really ramping up for exploration, as they now link up with the Caspian Sea and starts to sort of explore around that. going around over here, and so people will decide to settle. As people see the creation of Kazakhstan, as the Kazakhstanians will create their nation here. I don't even know if that, did you say it like Kazakhstanian? I honestly have no idea, but anyway, yeah, the Kazakhstanis will now be created here. And we now move as some more sea travel is going to take place. A lot more exploration is going to happen as the rest of Ireland is discovered, and now they move up the North Sea and eventually link up with Iceland over here, and they discover the whole thing very quickly because, you know, this is a possible new island for Red Team expansion, you know, who knows. And the Red Team will decide, hey, let's make a landing over here in the southern part of the island and colonise a bit of it. They in fact just take the whole thing, so yeah. In which they'll build all these major cities because, you know, they're so strong that they have so much money they don't even know what to do with it. I should probably give the Greeks some major cities, but we now see some more exploration of the UK come out as the best country in the UK, which is the Welsh country. Well, basically, they're going to colonise the Isle of Man and decide to make a landing in this part of Scotland over here and get pretty close. You know, there's a big rivalry between them and the Yorkshireans coming off, but they'll kind of attempt and be able to cut the Yorkshireans off from the rest of England. So the Yorkshireans are going to be like, I guess, and yeah, so they take all this land from possible Welsh land, which it should be Welsh land, you know, all of the UK should be Wales. And the Welsh will be like, we're going to invade you. And they invade into the Yorkshireans. And the Yorkshireans are caught off guard by this and they're like, whoa. And eventually they have to surrender because they can't fight. And the Welsh are holding on to this area with their life because they don't want to lose it. So the Welsh are going to end up getting this land. And this is going to really, I guess, cripple the Yorkshirean country here. And yeah, they could get jumped in a few episodes because... But the Red Team wants to continue their North Sea Empire even into the British Isles, so they make a landing in northern Scotland over here and wrap around the coast. And this is going to be like, whoa, for the Welsh, because we kind of want this land, and why are you taking our land, which could be our land? So they work out an agreement where the Red Team takes this northern part of Scotland, and the rest goes over to the Welsh. So, yeah, this is a pretty decent update for Britain. It's not really an update because there's no Daily Britain update here. But we come now down to the, I guess, Germans now, kind of the Germans, or the Austrians. As Germania is going to be really just, like, you know, salty about the war that just happened. You know, they got their ass beat. So they're going to decide to expand. And they will decide to mostly expand along the coast here and make a connection up with the French Purple Team, who they kind of don't like at the minute. Like, I don't know why, but they just don't like them. It's a regional rivalry, right? They're no longer the superpower of the world. That goes to the Red Team now. Or I guess not the world, like Europe in general, because there ain't really a superpower. We see the Blues eventually come to a halt when they expand into this land over here, and there's also going to be part over here that gets colonised, but not the full thing, only this island here, and this is going to be left a bit barren. In fact, no, there's going to be a treaty drafted up now. So we see it get divided similar to this, as the Italians are going to also take this land down here, and some land that connects them up here, which, you know, makes the border look really weird with the rivers. But we also see this, either Yugoslavia, Slovenia, whatever you want to call them. They'll take all this land here. The Blue Team is going to take this, which will, you know, it's quite big for them. And then the Purple Team is going to get the rest. And yeah. Anyway, going back to the Balkans now, we see the Romanians decide to fill in this whole area here of Transylvania, and the Greeks will be like, well, we ain't going to miss out on the rest, so they'll take this, which kind of makes the Romanians a bit mad, but they won't be able to do anything at the minute, because their king has just died, and that's meant to be Romanian colour, but whatever. But there's two, the king had twins. One of these twins wants to expand west and meet up with all these European nations over here and set up better relations. But the other guy wants to go east and go into undiscovered land and explore the rest of Russia, what they think is Russia, I guess. And the king, I guess the prince, who's going to win. This is a duel, by the way, so they have a duel. And the one who wins is the one who wants to go east. And, yeah. So the Romanians will now set on their conquest to go explore and also, I guess, colonise the east. As the Romanians will now take all of this land connecting up with Crimea. I guess you could call them the Ukrainians at this point, but you know they're the Romanians because that's the capital's down here. In the Three Rivers, which is a very beneficial area. That's why, you know, they have quite a big economy, and yeah. So they get Crimea now, and yeah, cool, happy. Not just that as well, but they will start to help with the red team, I guess, exploration of the east. With a lot of people kind of going out here to explore more of Russia, and the Greeks also, they help out with them a bit, going down into the Arabian Peninsula, I guess, area, or not the peninsula, but the Arabian area. They discover Mesopotamia down here, connecting up with Kuwait and the Persian Gulf, and they also start to go around the areas of Iran, but stop when it gets a bit mountainy. Then one of these exploration groups will go quite bad, and some people are going to get lost, and they're going to kind of go down the coast a bit, and eventually they'll end up from Qatar. These are a mix of Greek and Romanian peoples, and they make it down here, and they decide, it's nice down here. We can just settle in the peninsula of Qatar. So we see the Qatarian country be set up, and they're decently big, for Qatar. And they see this here, and they're like, yeah, cool. And we may see them expand a bit east because they both of the countries that they come from are wanted to go more east and discover the rest of the world. We'll see what happens with them in a few episodes. Anyway, over here we see a new country pop up. This is going to be the Irish Republic. They will be popping up over here, if I can get on the right layer, but they will be this kind of beigeish, dark beige colour, and they will basically take all of Ireland for themselves, and we see them get the starter pack of a few major cities. And yeah, they set up a pretty nice country in Ireland, which kind of wants to go west. Where could that lead them? Ooh, nobody knows. Anyway, now we go down to India, as just like what happened over in just like what happened with East Asia, we're also going to see a country form, or a few countries, or a group of countries form over here. So we see all of this land has been discovered by a group of civilizations. So we have two countries actually. One of them is obviously a lot weaker than the other. This one is pretty strong actually. They would probably be pretty strong on the map. I mean, I'd say they're probably the same strength as this Portuguese country, but they have a little bit less advanced technology. So we have these guys, which I'm going to call the Indus. I am like 80% sure this is the Indus. I don't fully know though. And then we have like this country. I don't know the name of it. You guys come up with the name. Actually, no. I'm gonna put the capital on the mouth of this river over here. And yeah, these two are just gonna be chilling. They don't really have any like hostilities to each other. They're just going to chill. And as we finally move back over to East Asia, as the Vietnamese are going to expand. We see the Vietnamese do a lot of expanding. I'm just going to temporarily stop because it's not really needed at the minute. But the Vietnamese do a lot of expanding, and they are huge now. And they may even be stronger than France, but who knows. The Vietnamese ain't the only ones, as the Koreans will also explore all of this land, making these guys a lot more, advanced. So they're going to take all of this land. Yeah, they're going to look like this, and yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, a lot more expansion in East Asia at the minute. And for our real final event here, we're going to see the rest of, this part of Europe be discovered. And of course, Yugoslavia's got to get in on this, and yeah, they're going to take this land. Very expansionist country, very badly expansionist. So we're going to see the division look something like this. So the blue team is going to get this here, no, nothing to say about that. The red, Romanians are going to get this. I know I said that they were expanding east, but it's free land, why wouldn't they take it anyway? And then we see the red team get all of this here, and they are obviously very much using their number one status to their advantage in many of these situations. They don't really care about the land there, but in many situations they are expanding a lot. But it'll be put to a halt, as now, a little teaser for the next episode here, but we see the start of what will be known as the Plague of Destruction. And for a little teaser, this plague will completely reshape the continent of Europe as we know it, and push us into a new age. I hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and let's just say, But we'll see you in the next one on the United Mappers Union channel. No, wrong channel again! We'll see you in the United Mapping Empires next video. I think I got that right. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.